This is the video for Caesar's Gallic Wars, Book 5, Chapter 28. Arpineius et Unius. And then this quae is kind of deceptive. It looks like it refers to these two, but that can't be because it's either nominative, it's either feminine nominative singular, feminine nominative plural, or neuter nominative or accusative plural. So it can't refer to anything masculine. So this whole thing, actually, quae audierunt, is actually the direct object. So quae is an accusative neuter plural. So this is the direct object of this main verb. So Arpineius et Unius deferunt quae audierunt ad legatos. Illi perturbatid. This is a perfect passive participle by the repetina re. Etsi that means these things, or dk bonturd, were being dk bonturd, ab hoste, tamen, existamabant, were existamabonting, that, here's an indirect statement, very short indirect statement with only a gerund of obligation, or gerundive, I guess, that sort of understood, should not be negligendad, or must not be negligendad. And permoe bonter, they were being permoe bontered maxime by hoc re. Now this quod clause is a because clause, because nothing else in the previous line is neuter singular, so it can't refer to anything. But it's a because clause, but it's kind of complicated because in typical Caesar fashion, he has the verb at the very end. So, because, and here is a gerund of obligation. Gee, I wonder if he's in this mood right now. So, he just likes writing with them right now. Because it wix, it scarcely had to be credendumed, that, indirect statement, the civitate ignobilem atque humilem of the eberonum. This is a third declension, so that's why this is not an adjective, it's a genitive plural. Ausamd, so audeo, not audio, audeo is a verb that's called semi-deponent, which means it has deponent forms in the perfect and pluperfect and future perfect. So this looks like a perfect passive infinitive, but it's really a perfect active infinitive. So they ausamd tu facere bellum on the populo Romano sua sponte. Okay. Itaque deferunt, the rem, ad concilium. Concilium's kind of a weird word in that sometimes it can mean a plan and sometimes it can mean the people who make the plan, or like the council. So here it means council. And a magna controversia existit inter eos, about which we are going to hear very much quite soon. Okay. Lucas Aurunculeus, also known as Cota, we'll hear him by that other name as well sometimes, and Complores Tribuni of the Militum, and Centuriones of the Primorum Ordinum. Okay, so I'm looking for a verb that could possibly go with a plural subject, and here it is, existamabont. We're existamabonting that. This is going to always, well, not always, but a lot of times introduce an indirect statement. Nihil agendum. Nihil must be agendumed temere. See what I mean? Another gerund of obligation. And it should not be discadendumed ex hibernis in usu of Caesaris. Docebont, they were docebonting that, also introduces an indirect statement. Quanta suis, however much, that's kind of what these two words mean together, or however great, the copias etiam of the Germanorum, that they could could, posse, sustenere, be susteneried by hibernis munitist. Munitist hibernis. This is a perfect passive participle. And there is a note on rem esse testimonium, which reads as follows. The thing for proof was that. The thing was for proof, or the thing for proof was that, meaning like their proof for this was that sustinueranted the primum impetum of the hostium, and I think this is an ablative absolute, with multis vulneribus illatis, which is the fourth principal part of infero, which means carry into import but inflict. If we're talking about wounds, inflict is a good word. With multis vulneribus having been illatis, ultro, and fortissime, that non-premi, they were not, this is a present active infinitive, they were not premied by the re frumentaria. Meanwhile, look at those two ets, both ex proximis hibernis, et a Caesare, subsidia, and this conventura, that's a future active infinitive. So will or what would conventura. Finally, that quid esse levius aut terpius. These are both comparative adjectives. More levius or more terpius, quam, than. So quam can mean a lot of different things, but like when you have it right after comparative, it's going to mean than. Than capere, to capere a concilium, de, meaning concerning. And the note on this says matters of life and death, the highest matters, with the hosta as auctora, or on the authority of the enemy, which is what the note tells us.